can give. It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
What is up, Big D Energy? Neither Neil or McCarty are here, but you got Terry Foster, you got me,
Big D,
Sean Belegian. What is up? Glad you can join us. Terry, I'm going to tell you right now, you and I are used to days like this. I hate working days like this. No offense to you. No offense to Spenny. No offense to KG, who's here.
A day like today. What's
There
going
is a
on?
certain game that I want to watch at about noon today.
Oh, the little Spartoon.
Yeah, there's a certain game that I want to watch at about noon today, and when you are doing a show like this, and you know this, I'm sure, from the radio days, okay? Even though for a while you worked at the flagship, honestly. Remember, like, the afternoon Tiger playoff games?
Yeah.
Those, man, when you're on the air, you're doing an afternoon show. KG, like, honestly, it's like, oh, yeah, I forgot I'm doing a radio show.
Right.
And that's what today. So I'm going to beg
no,
you.
it goes like more like this. Would you say?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I missed it.
Exactly. Spenny, I'm going to beg you not to put that monitor on for the Spartan game.
Okay.
Because, like, honestly, I'll be useless from noon on.
Yeah.
You know how that is.
I mean, you can do what I do sometimes, just stream it on your phone. You know, you got the pirate sites. You can easily just pull the game up and have it on your phone, be checking it periodically.
I have to police. I'd be useless.
Yep.
Because you know how. No, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Right, just looking at your phone the whole time. Oh, wait, sorry, what?
We can't have dead air, man. That's the
right?
worst thing.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's maybe that's another reason why football's king. We don't have to worry about that doing shows while football's
Right.
on, right?
Yeah. I mean, you
Well,
got to worry about church if
sort
you're
of.
one of those guys, but
Now football's a 7-day-a-week thing now.
It is. It is. But, you know, when you're doing a show and there's a game on, I'm going to be, like, this is going to be the game within the game today. My eyes are going to be on that booth right there because there's no way Spenny's going to be able to stop himself. No way. How are you going to navigate it, Spenny?
I'm going to put it on that
Yeah.
TV right
Yeah.
there.
that's the cheat code.
That's the cheat code.
Yeah,
No,
but you can tell how things are going because he'll be going, oh, man, what?
And it's just the Big Ten tournament, which,
Right.
I mean, it still means something, but they're already, MSU's already comfortably a 1 or 2 seed in the regular
it's
tournament.
going to be 2, right?
Don't
It's going to
remind
be a
us.
2.
It's going to be 2.
And we're
right,
going to be
Terry?
in Duke's
2
bracket.
seed.
I think it's going to be a 2. I mean, there's a possibility of a 1. They have to win out, obviously, and
Speaking of which, seeing what happened to Cooper Flag in the ACC
Yeah.
tournament,
tough.
do you think these Power 5 teams should even have conference tournaments?
It's a good question.
what's the point? You know what the point is? Make some money.
Yep.
But you know what? It gives us something to watch on the weekends. So I'm not going to say it's totally pointless, but as far as determining seeding, who's going to get in the tournament or not, it's just the only thing the conference tournament can do is you can get some. Let's say like Purdue is 14 and 16, they can get into the NCAA tournament. They got an outside shot.
It is the funny thing about the tournament to me. I've always felt this way. Is the best part about a Cinderella is it just happens. You can't make it happen, and it seems like there's some desire to make it happen. Like the 16 just pops off, the 15 just pops off, the 14 just pops off, and I think a lot of times. Everybody becomes uber infatuated. Like you were saying, Terry, pick a crappy Big Ten team right now, right? Pick a crappy somebody goes on a run and then all of a sudden, it gets to Saturday and you're like, ooh, look, they're still alive. And God forbid they actually win that game.
Yeah.
Then that becomes the story. I mean, the infatuation with the Cinderella is weird. To me, it's like, no, it's just got to happen. You can't like manipulate that. Let it happen.
No, you can't. But see, I don't need it. I don't need the
don't
Cinderella. I don't need the below 500 team making a run the turn. I just want to see good basketball. So whoever wins, I'm fine. And I'll admit, if I see some crappy team ahead by 2 at halftime, yeah, it piques my interest. But I just don't need it.
We all get like that. I mean, Loyola. Remember the whole Loyola thing and Sister Jean and
Sister
all
Jean,
that
that's
stuff?
Still
I mean,
kicking.
She's still alive, right?
Yeah, still kicking.
She's still alive.
God bless
And you know what? Here's how big she became. I heard some dudes said they would hit that.
Oh, come on.
I'm telling you. But that's the power of sports.
Yeah.
I love it. No, Spenny, you know what? If they did away with the conference tournament, to your point, I mean, how much would people adversely be affected? I'm serious. I mean, I like it. I told you yesterday. This is pretty cool. You know, when you are sitting at home and there's actually something on during the day. And I don't give two crap if it's Virginia Tech taking on NC State. It's like, oh, cool. There's a basketball game. I'm going to watch it. So in that regard, I like it, Spenny. I do. But T, if they did get away with it, to Spenny's point, would people cry?
But no. Here's what you would get, and this is important. You get Michigan State twice every year. You don't get that now.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
I'll tell you, here's what burns me about college basketball. You could go and be the best team for a 3-month period, win the regular season tournament. Doesn't mean anything. But if you have that 3-day burner on the weekend, you get in the tournament. You get in the state tournament. I don't think that's right.
Yeah. It's you know what? That's part of the magic, though. Let's be honest. It is. And I don't. KG, what about you? Conference. I mean, cool. Whatever.
Yeah, I've never really been a fan of it. To me, you can do without it, especially like you said, Spinny, they already Big Ten champs. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. They just playing for seeding at this point. Just get me to the tournament. Once the tournament starts, then I'm bought in. I'm all in. But as far as conference tournaments, I'm good.
And that's like everybody knows who in the Big Ten is going to make the NCAA tournament.
Right.
Everybody knows who in the SEC is going to make the NCAA tournament. For these lower bracket or these lower conferences, a conference tournament makes sense because then you can get in Oakland into the tournament, and then they beat Kentucky, and that's awesome. But like everybody knows, Michigan State, Iowa, Purdue, like those guys are all going to make the tournament. We already know that. You go there a week before, and you have a guy like Cooper Flagg go down because he's playing in the ACC tournament when Duke's already locked up a 1 seed. Like, I don't know.
Breaks my heart for Duke, though. I got to be honest.
Yeah,
with you.
yeah.
I'm not,
Feel
all
so
due
bad
respect
for
to
Duke.
Cooper,
Right. Let's cry for him.
That long-suffering basketball program. It's just you guys don't know, and I have this conversation with my kid. For whatever reason, he's infatuated with it. Terry and I grew up in an era, like when the bracket was announced. I'm serious. This is how we did it in our neighborhood. We were so strategic. It was like, KG, you live across the street from me. KG, it is your responsibility. It is your responsibility to write down the South bracket as it's announced on Selection Sunday.
Got it.
Chase, you got to get the Midwest, man. And you couldn't let your boys down because you got to remember, there was no – I'm not running to the internet to check out what the potential second-round matchup is. I'm not running to the internet to check out what any of the matchups are. As a matter of fact, I had to wait for Terry's Detroit News in the afternoon more often than not. The Freep usually didn't have it in the morning. I had to wait for Terry's Detroit News at 3 o'clock in the afternoon to see the full thing. So my buddies and I were strategic. It was like, you got that bracket, and you couldn't let your boy down.
Yeah.
I might get a beating. I might get a beating.
Don't have sloppy handwriting because then I got to beat your ass afterwards.
And that's what seriously, we would have to write it down. And if one dude missed it, oh, dude, I didn't get the 14-3 matchup. You got beat. It just it was two choices: do your job or take a beat down. That was it.
And then you're like, well, how is Duke a 13 seed? I said, oh, sorry, that was UAB. My handwriting is messed up.
The Lions just announced that they are re-signing wide receiver Tim Patrick.
Hey, I'll take it.
Bringing Tim Patrick back to the fold.
That's a good move.
Super Bowl.
Does that move the needle, Terry?
Nah, not quite. It's cute. I like it.
Yeah, it's a good signing.
I tell you what I would do. I don't mind the fact that the Lions haven't signed a big-time pass rusher. Here's what I do. I'd bring back the whole gang, but I would also re-sign Zadarius
Smith. Yeah.
I think if they do that, they'll be fine.
I'm not worried about it. It's really weird. Again, and you guys saw, we put up some of the clips from yesterday, and simultaneously you have people going, well, who's saying this? And like I wanted to say, well, if you look on this thread, you could see a lot of people. He hasn't done anything.
Right.
Why are we sitting on our hands? We got a pretty good group as it is, and I'll say the same thing that I said yesterday. Oh, by the way, there's this thing called the draft coming up, and then you could sign guys in June, and then you're never going to believe this. There are guys that come available even after camp.
Yeah, that's true.
There are cap casualties and camp casualties. It's going to be okay.
We are still just at the beginning of this thing, and I know it seems like with all the news from free agency that we got, it was like crazy, but we're still at the beginning. Brad has a plan. He ain't just passing up names for no reason.
You know what happens in this league? When you sign that big name, gotta have it guy for $30 million, he comes in, he's usually bad. It's like, damn.
Or he gets hurt or something. Yeah.
Huh?
Or he gets hurt or something.
Yeah, he gets hurt. No, I don't want anybody 29, 30, 31 years old that's always getting injured. Because he's going to get injured on your team, too. So I'm not upset that the Lions haven't jumped into this free agency thing yet.
I don't mind the low risk, high reward type of contracts. You know, a lot of times why do you want to go after that guy? Why do you want to go after that guy? And you have to think about it from a logical standpoint, okay? Whether it be a guy who's, as you said, 32 years old, or there's a lot of tread, whatever the case may be. I'm always like, okay, what did we really lose in this? And you know, with me, a lot of times things go back to hockey. People losing their mind over the Patrick Kane, the Patrick Kane contract, like, made no sense to me. Okay, cool.
Right.
You're right. Nobody comes back from this hip surgery. Nobody. He is going to be awful. It's going to be a complete disaster. Okay, what did you lose? What did you lose? You didn't give up anything up. It was a very low contract with again, potential high reward. So contracts like that, I don't understand why people lose their shit over it. Why the hell did we sign KG? Oh my gosh, that dude's best days are behind him.
Damn, it's like that.
Dig a little deeper. Dig a little deeper. Like, what? You didn't give up anything for him. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Later.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
right?
for the salary, what if he just became a good role player?
Right.
You're still better off than you were before.
Yep. I got a little depth here. And God forbid, I don't know, you have 521 injuries like last year. This is a guy that at least can come in and give you a little something, and one less thing that you have to worry about. But
it's a little PTSD from Lions fans, because I've said this before,
100%.
We're not used to getting players of the elite caliber to just come through our doors. And now with the Lions being in the situation that they're in, being Super Bowl or bust, we are clamoring for anything, and we're not used to getting the big names here, and that seems to, be a continuing trend with Brad in there. But he's making smart moves. It ain't like he's just signing scrubs like previous regimes was. He's making strategic moves for a reason, and that's why you got to give him the cachet and relax a little bit, because he hasn't steered us wrong to this point. He's built that equity.
And shout out to Byrne in the super chat. He says, shout out to the Chicago Bears on their offseason champion three-peat. 7-10 in 2023, 5-12 in 2024, going in the right direction.
Yeah.
that was honestly, that was one of the strangest things. Like, I vividly remember doing shows with you guys in the summer and hearing people talk about the Bears, and I'm like, Terry, did I miss something?
Yeah, I know.
What,
dude?
the
I
fuck?
was in Chicago last summer, and I went to the bookstore, and I was getting magazines and stuff. I must have had a Detroit something on. This guy says, "Oh, you're from Detroit?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Your Lions are not going to do well this season." I said, "Dude, what are you talking about?" He's a Bears fan. He told me how the Bears are going to be great, and it's a good team, and all this kind of crap. I'm like, "Come on, dude, get out of here."
It is
On paper is a motherfucker. It always is.
It's amazing.
They weren't even good on paper.
Yeah, I thought they looked good on paper too, but I wasn't one of the people saying, "Oh, they're going to the playoffs or going to the Super Bowl." There was actually people saying that they were a Super Bowl contender,
Dude,
which
I'm
is
telling.
crazy.
I've said this for years. The Hard Knocks kiss is the fakest kiss in the history of kisses.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It is made for television. I say it. I'm not saying that it isn't a good thing or anything like that.
I think, you know what? I was watching. I said, I actually like these guys. I like the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what
how
they
they
do.
get you.
That's what the
Right.
show is. The show wants to suck you in. It's not training camp. It's something completely different. We got to get into the Pistons. We're going to get into more Lions. Some comments from DJ Reed, Roy Lopez. I get it. For a lot of people, not all people, for a lot of people, you want this moved, okay? And unfortunately, the people that want that big brash move are going to be vocal right now. Yes, we all want the same thing. We want a Super Bowl or bust, period. That's where we're at. And now I'm so glad, Spenny, more people are on our side, because I said that a year ago and people lost their shit. Oh, what are you talking about? Anything less than a Super Bowl is a failure. That's where we're at right now. That's where we're at. I'd rather be here, to be honest with you. But, Spenny, tell them about Feldman.
I will tell them about Feldman. Feldman Chevrolet of Novi, right in Sean's backyard. They've been Detroit's #1 Chevrolet dealer and the Chevrolet Dealer of the Year for 6 consecutive years. Get a 2025 Shelby Silverado 1500 Crew Cab for just $199 a month. You could also get the 2025 Equinox for only $249 per month. Come see George Hawes and his team at Feldman Chevrolet of Novi. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Shop.woodwardsports.com. If you want the best sports wearables in Detroit, that's where you got to go. Shop.woodwardsports.com. Make sure you guys tap in. It's great stuff. You got Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, anything you need. Go get your merch at shop.woodwardsports.com.
All right, welcome back. Glad you can join us. It is Woodward Sports, and it is one of those things. Spenny, we're sitting here talking about this. Did you figure out what channel it's on? I don't want to know.
Yeah, Big Ten Network.
It is on the Big Ten Network. Okay. T, can I ask you about this? Have we graduated as Piston fans? Have we graduated from not losing our minds over a dismal performance against a dismal team?
Yeah, they've built up that cachet.
I think so.
Stuff like that happens, and I thought it may have happened earlier against Chicago. One of the most dangerous things in the NBA is to blow somebody out, and then you got to play them 2 nights later. So you expect, they'll blow them out the next night. No, there's something, particularly in the NBA. I mean, you don't. The Pistons were lackluster. They weren't focused, and Washington's like, man, they kicked our ass. We can't let this happen again. So that's what makes that such a dangerous game. But no, the Pistons have built up so much cachet. You don't get bent out of shape over one game.
It's funny. I graduated this year. I know I told you, KG. So back in December, I watched that exciting game when they beat Miami down in OT down in Miami.
Yep.
And then they turned around, and I was like, I like this team. Gosh damn it, I like this team. And I turned it on the next night, and it was a shit show against a bad Utah Jazz team. And I was that guy. I openly admit it. If you guys want to laugh at me, you go right. Gosh damn it, this is what I get. I got nobody to blame but my. This is the same shit. With this.
knew it.
I'm not turning on this team again. I've got hockey to watch. It's still football season. I'm not wasting any. I was that guy. Last night, I honest to God, I was watching the game.
But on the other flip side, when the Pistons or somebody beats like the Boston Celtics or OKC, I don't say, "Oh, they sent a message. They're dangerous." No, the NBA season is such a grind.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose games you shouldn't lose. You're gonna win games you probably shouldn't have won. It's just endless, mindless, and you just kind of show up and wake up in a different hotel. So just weird things happen in that league.
And Spenny, I don't know if you felt the same way. It was one of those nights. It was lack of focus. It was I think their credit line's better than that now, man. I think this team has actually built up a little credit that makes me say it's not fair to compare this group to groups gone by. And a lot of that happened with the Lions, whether we want to admit it or not, the last couple of years and the whole SOL thing.
Yeah.
Which is still such a pathetic statement to make. Put it to bed once and for all. Because nobody in our lives watched the Lions win back-to-back divisions. Nobody in our lives watched the Lions win 2 playoff games in the span of a week. Like put it to bed. Think of something else, right? If you're one of those
you can't
guys,
put it to bed if they lose the first playoff game next season. You're gonna hear a lot of same old Lions.
Yeah,
I don't know how you can with this group, though, T.
Because if they lose in the first round of the playoffs, what the fuck? That's what they do.
But
in the past.
same old Lions ain't necessarily the team. It's organizational. That's what I compare to
that's
same
the way
old
I always
Lions.
look at
The reason why that became a thing is because, the Lions, they had some good players. They've always had good players. But we knew that the organization was not going to, 1, do right by the players, and 2, not keep a team together long enough to even have any type of success. We all knew that Willie Clay, he didn't really give a fuck about the team. He was just trying to sell tickets and give jobs to his friends. That's same old Lions, at least to me. Some people correlate that with some of the, unbelievable losses that we've seen, and I can't blame you for that. But overall, SOL is a structural thing, and that is not the case anymore.
But even if you go by results like Terry did, in my lifetime, I watched the Lions make the playoffs 1 time 3 years in a row. Mm-hmm. 1 time, 93, 94, 95, okay? And, of course, they went 0-3 during that time. Now, I'll wait. I can't believe you even spoken into existence. But I'll wait. If they do that, if they flame out in the first round, maybe we could think of something else to say, but God forbid you win the division 3 years in a row, which they didn't back in the 90s. It was 2 wild card and a division. But you got a couple wins out of it. You have a base that you're like, okay, this is good moving forward. I don't know, Terry, it's something else.
Okay, you're making a huge mistake right now.
All right.
You're assuming that a lot of people out there are not simpletons.
Well,
They're going to scream same old Lions if they lose the first round playoff game.
You're right.
Or don't make the playoffs.
Don't say that.
KG is
oh my gosh! Don't you
correct.
dare say that.
But once again, you're not putting into account that a lot of people are simpletons out there.
That is true.
They need something
Can't
fast.
account for
They
them.
need something quick. They need something.
You
like
see it
fast
now
food.
with the debates over free agency and is he doing enough? And
No.
and like I said, people kind of take for granted that this was a 15-win team, even with all the injuries that they had. I understand it in how we needed it to end, but at the same time, I can't blame Brad for thinking, okay, we're right there. We just need to make some subtle moves because they were right there. They were.
Your best moves are getting your guys back, right? I mean,
That is
honestly,
true. And
those
I'd
are your best
re-sign
moves.
Smith too.
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen him in a training camp with the Detroit Lions.
That's a fact.
We haven't seen him out there for week 1, week 2, week 3, being acclimated with his team. We haven't seen him say, I'm a Detroit Lion because I've got all this experience with these guys. These are my boys. He just kind of came in the middle of the ride.
You know what, Spenny, you brought up a great point. And Terry, I think this goes hand in hand with what you just said. Spenny, you brought up a great point about the offensive line. I'm somebody, they need an interior lineman. They do. Period. End of story. I've said it once. I've said it 10,000 times. I feel a lot better about rolling with said rookie interior lineman because of who is on each side of him. You know what I'm saying? You got one stud on the other side, and you have still one of the best centers in the league on the other. And Terry, I think that same thing could be said about the defensive line. when you have the pieces that we already have here, and I'm not insinuating in any way, shape, or form, they don't need to add depth. In fact, I'll say D lineman and edge. But if you have, how much better is Zadarius Smith with that defensive line, the way it was intended to be?
Right.
I think he looks
what
damn
did
good.
we say when they traded for him? Oh, wait until they get him and Hutch on the same field at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now you're not going to do it? Come on now. They'll bring him back.
We lived in an era where I watched guys, no disrespect to Uncle Cliffy Averill, guys feasted off of Ndamukong Suh. They feasted off of him being double and triple team. And that's what I'm looking for right now. And the same thing can be said. Well, do you really, don't we have to go get a gnome? Well, yes, in a perfect world, I'd love one of the big names. But what do you think a rookie might get in this league when you have Aiden Hutchinson over on the other side drawing the kind of attention he gets? What kind of opportunities for him to put his little bib on and grab his fork and knife and eat is he going to get because of all the attention that is paid to Aiden Hutchinson? To me, Terry, and I thought about that, Spenny, based on what you said and you bringing up Zadarius, because it's like, yeah, I get it. What was he the impact that we all thought? Nah, he wasn't. I don't think he was as bad as people thought, but it wasn't, the world. What's going to happen now that all these cats are back? That's what I'm looking
Right.
at,
And
man.
plus, you were asking him to be the dude last year.
Right.
Now, this year, if they bring him back, you ask him to be the helper.
Be a guy.
Right.
Yep.
It's a big difference.
Be a guy, no doubt. All right, when we come back, DJ Reed, I'm sure you've seen all the breakdowns. PFF did a good compare and contrast between him and Carlton, and quite frankly, if you buy into that stuff, I don't know why you wouldn't. The line's got the better of the two and the better contract of the two, period. That's not an opinion, man. If you buy into that stuff, and you look at the numbers, they got the better of the two. I don't think, no diss to Carlton. I'm not one of those guys, T, when guys leave the town, all of a sudden it's time to bash on them. Darn good player. I'd rather have him, but you know what? I'd rather have DJ Reed in this contract, too. I really would. Spenny, what do we got here? Planet Fitness?
Planet Fitness, the home of the judgment-free zone where we mean everybody can get a full-body workout in 30 minutes. All memberships include fitness training. You get all that for just $15 a month, or you can upgrade to the Black Card. Get use of amenities like hydro massage, total body enhancement, and access to over 2,500 locations worldwide. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join him every Tuesday on Big D Energy. And Thursdays on Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts, Dr. Jeff Pierce, here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit him at michigansportsandspine.com or call him at 248-426-9944.
Welcome back in. It is Big D Energy. Terry Foster, Sean Belegian, KG, Chase, Spenny in the house. Glad you could join us. Terry, this is funny because, again, I have to hearken back. And a lot of times, I think it's important to tell people where we've been as a franchise and the reality of what the perceptive the perception was of this franchise, because we knew what we lived through. I don't think a lot of people knew, Terry, I know you know this as well as anybody, what the perception of this franchise was around the league. And that was something totally different. But, Spenny, with that being said, I know we've got the clip. DJ Reed on why Detroit was so appealing.
I wanted to play with dogs, and gratefully I'm playing with dogs on the defensive side and on the offensive side. So I'm going to a great team.
Terry, how many times have you, and I can include myself there, heard people say, why would you want to go to Detroit? Or for other guys, when can I get out of Detroit? To say that this franchise had a bad reputation would be a gross understatement. And Terry, I don't think the average person understands that.
No, they don't. And people would always say, why don't they sign this free agent? Because he didn't want to come here. They picked up the phone. Hey, bro, we got an opening for you in Detroit. Click. Leave me alone. And don't call back again. Please. But now people are more inclined to want to play here. And in fact, here's what the Lion players used to do. If a Lion player signed as a free agent or got traded, the players would have a little party for this dude and say, hey, welcome to the National Football League. You finally arrived. That's how bad it was around here.
Think about it. Here's a team that had a magical year, went to the NFC Championship game, right?
And got their asses kicked.
But you had national broadcasters. I think we're looking at the two teams of the 90s with Dallas and Detroit, right? Who did they attract? You have a once in a million year running back in your backfield, right? Everything seemingly going right, okay? All of it. And who did they attract?
It doesn't necessarily help with Detroit being, I guess you would say, I don't think we're a small market, but we're not like the largest market, of course. I think that works against us in a lot of ways. And then back then, just the reputation of, like I said, the organization, the people working at the top, I don't think it was viewed very positively. Maybe that's somewhere, toward the end of your career, you can just go get a bag, but that was about it. If you're in the prime of your career, why would you want to go to Detroit?
I want to help out my young brother.
Go ahead.
This was not about market size. Guys looked at this franchise and said, this franchise, I'm not going to win.
Yeah.
I'm going to get pissed off at some point. And you had players who played on the team. They call them up. Hey, bro, should I come to Detroit? They wouldn't tell them no. They're like, why don't you think about it? I don't want to tell you what, right or wrong. Instead of saying, yeah, come on, we're going to win together.
It drove me nuts because back then, and I hate to do this to you, Kay, Green Bay.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, everybody wanted to go to Green Bay. Of course, Reggie White, the Lord told him to go to Green Bay. The bag had nothing to do with it. It had nothing to do with it. We know that.
But even it's the history you got to account for, too, with Green
insane.
Bay and Lambeau.
And once again, it's the franchise.
Right.
Black people don't want to go to Green Bay.
That is a fact.
But they were going in droves.
If somebody that has been toward Green Bay, it's not pleasant once you get out of Milwaukee. It's not. Downtown Milwaukee, great. The rest of Wisconsin, not so much.
And it's funny because how often do you hear guys, do one of this? It's about the ring. It's about, I want to get that ring. Okay, if you want to get that ring, hi, we're the Detroit Lions. Take a look at what we did. We haven't got the ring yet, but we'd like you to come help us get that ring, huh? You want to be a part of this? Look how close we are. Think of the buzz that's going on. Look at all the things, the disasters from last year. Like honestly, all the injuries, everything. Somehow, some way, that team ended up 15-2, man.
It's crazy. When you really think about it, it's crazy.
It really is. I don't think we've taken enough time to think about it.
No, we haven't. It was the best season in Lions history, but once again, we're in a space of, okay, we have the team, we have the organization, we have the coaches. You have to get this thing done just for 60 years of time pass's sake. Y'all got to go out there and get this thing done. And I think that, because the organization has improved from within, more people look at the Lions situation. Okay, they've never won a Super Bowl. They look at it as a positive now. Okay, I want to come in and help change that because your legacy is etched instantly. If the Lions win a Super Bowl, whoever is a part of that, you're instantly like a part of something that great that is never, a lot of people thought would never happen. So I think it's more of a positive now as opposed to what it looked like back then.
Yeah, but this franchise has been so incompetent that if Holmes or Campbell gets them to a Super Bowl, they not only get a statue, but they probably put him in the Hall of Fame right away.
Instantly.
So you don't have to wait your 5 years. Just go.
If Jared Goff wins, he's a Hall of Famer. If he wins as a Lion, he's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Point blank.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, and Terry, I'm not around like I used to be, so I don't know the answer to this, and maybe you don't know the answer to it, but I'll ask it anyway. Do you think that reputation has done a 180? Do you think this Detroit Lions franchise is perceived differently, most importantly, around the rank and file in the National Football League?
Yeah, absolutely. Here's why. These guys, when they play the Lions, they know when the game is done, they're pretty much beaten up, or they really had to play hard. So they understand that. And they know that these guys are dogs. They play hard. They get good coaching. So there's respect. Sheila Hamp plays a role in that, too, because you know what she does? I'm staying out of the way. Y'all do your job. I'll write the checks. Mm-hmm. Don't ask me for anything else. Her dad was like, okay, I don't quite trust what's going on. I know you're thinking about a defensive end, but I want a quarterback. Or he would meddle, not to the extent of Jerry Jones, but he's putting his hand in the pot and getting burned and burning the franchise. And then before that, then they didn't want to pay dudes. You know what happened then? Guys would talk, they get pissed off, and they wouldn't play up to their potential.
It's a fact.
True story. So when I started to think that maybe, just maybe, this was different, and it didn't make any sense at the time, but looking back, it makes sense now because, look, we are a results-oriented business. We are, period. It's we can talk about how much things are better, but if you're rolling up 9 and 8 seasons and taking a first-round exit, I'm sorry, no, that doesn't work. That's Lion good. That's not NFL good. The Caldwell era, Lion good, not NFL good. So, Terry, there was a very prominent player. I bet you can figure out at least in the general area of who it was. A very prominent Lion player who was at one of the homecoming weekends or whatever they call it. And I hadn't seen the guy 15 years, easy, maybe 20 years, right? Yeah. And he literally looked at me, gave me the bro hug, and kind of leaned in and said, I never, ever thought I'd be back here.
Wow.
And I kind of like looked at him. I was like, you haven't been here? He goes, dude, I haven't been here. I think 96 maybe.
And you know why? He didn't want to come. He probably wasn't invited. The Lions were just ostracized their old players.
Yeah, I should have asked him. Yeah, but I got the gist from him, Terry. He was like, I don't want to come back. I'm not. No, why would I come back? For what reason would I come back? And this was a prominent player. If I said his name, you would know. Mm-hmm. Like you would go, really? And it was really. And this was, to me, that's when I was like, okay, maybe this franchise is starting to get it from an off-the-field standpoint. To your point, Terry, if you had to take care of so much shit on the field, we know that, we live that. But from an off-the-field standpoint, from a PR standpoint, to say that this franchise had a horrible reputation would be a gross understatement.
That's true, but the old players wanted to help out. They wanted to come into the front office. They wanted to be assistant coaches. The Lions wouldn't hire them.
Yeah.
And the thing that disappointed me is that you would hire someone from outside who was bad. They didn't have the love for this organization. They didn't have the love for the city. The former players did, and they were begging, help me, let me help you out.
Yeah.
Nope. We good, bro.
Nah, it makes sense. Just like in the Barry doc, I think it was 97, where, they came up short, but they wanted to keep the team together, and the organization was just like, nah. And they literally got rid of a lot of key pieces off the offensive line. Then that led to Barry retiring, and then, the rest is history. But it makes sense.
Terry, the day that they said that Scott Mitchell was finally done, and they were going to hand the reins to a rookie quarterback, somebody let the helium out. Because basically, their words, not mine. I remember vividly, a couple guys told me, holy shit, we're mailing in the season 4 weeks in, or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. But it was like that, Terry, that was the feeling.
Yeah,
they were like, if we're handing the reins to a rookie, we're done.
They were caught in between, because you remember, they had a fight because Scott Mitchell was making so many mistakes on the field.
Yep.
So you didn't want your veteran to be the quarterback. You didn't want a rookie to be the quarterback. You're the Lions. Oh. What are you going to do?
Very quickly, Roy Lopez on why he chose Detroit.
The biggest thing was the tradition they got, the culture they built here. I look to coach one day when I'm done playing, and to be able to learn from Dan Campbell, like, come on, man, like this speaks for itself, man. So I still got a lot of years to play, and so I think the biggest thing is to join a room that on tape you watch them, you know they play with their hair on fire, and they got the juice, they got the energy, and at the end of the day, as a D lineman, to join a room like that's a no-brainer. Especially someone that's trying to prove themselves in the league, and you fight for respect every day in the NFL. So the biggest thing as a defensive lineman for me is fighting for respect. I believe in that, and so show up every day. You earn it. You earn your rep through your reps. To elaborate on that, you earn your reputation on your reps. So that was told to me my rookie year. I never left my mind. So.
You know what he should do with that cowboy hat?
What's that?
He should put a Lions logo on there. Put Detroit Lions. We're the dudes that wear the black hat. What you gonna do about it?
Love it. Like fine. The villain shirt, right?
Right.
I think what Roy said was a subtle reminder for all of us in our frustration. And a lot of you go, why isn't Brad doing anything massive? I get it. I empathize. I'm not trying to shit on you, okay? I think we forget how far this has come, and the word that we throw around way too much, Terry, but we needed to be reminded, culture. To hear him talk about the culture, okay? Let's not forget how far this team has come in the last couple of years and how much has to do with culture.
Right. But I think that this locker room is at the stage where they can get some bad dudes in there.
Yes.
Because the culture is so strong.
You got it.
Now they would convert those guys into being team players. Before, it was such a clown show. The Lions locker room was like a giant clown car where everybody's in and out, in and out, in and out. We don't really have a focus. We don't have a culture. So if you brought in a bad dude, it would just ruin the whole thing. Now it's to the stage where if you bring in some badasses, they can absorb that and make them a productive part of that team.
It really is, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. When in the den, do as the Lions do. I mean, really, that's where we're at right now, and I don't think you can put a price tag on that. Tara, I'm going to ask you point blank what you think about what Brad Holmes has done so far. I know I want it now, and I want all of it right now, crowd. I know how you feel. I'm not going to convince you. I'm interested to hear Terry's take. Obviously, you can be a part of it in our chat as well, but who's going to tell us about Hey Social?
I will tell you about the social networks that you can follow Woodward
and
Sports
that too.
That too. Hey Social, great spot to get some food though. Great pizza.
Yes.
Make sure you follow the Detroit Lions. Follow them too, but follow Woodward Sports on YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch. Everywhere you have a social presence, that Woodward Sports does too. I don't know why I keep wanting to say the Detroit Lions do. Make sure you tap in on all social media platforms at Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month. Need
Woodward Sports is at it again, giving away more cash and prizes than anyone in Detroit. Get into our March Bracket Challenge, powered by Jug and Nathan Neurosurgery. If you have the biggest basketball brain and get first place, you win $1,000 cold hard cash. But it doesn't stop there. Second place gets a weekend at Grand Traverse Resort in Traverse City, including brunch at Erie and golf. Third place, 2 club seats to see the Pistons versus Bucks with food and drinks courtesy of RHB Laboratories in Troy. You can pre-register now at woodwardsportsbracket.com. That's woodwardsportsbracket.com. Then, after Selection Sunday, fill out your bracket for your chance at $1,000 in cash, money, and more. Pick by mascot, choose by team colors, have your dog pick. No matter how you do it, go to woodwardsportsbracket.com right now and register. All powered by the best in the game, Chuck and Nathan Neurosurgery and Woodward Sports.
Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Your first bet up to $1,000 can be risk-free, meaning if it doesn't hit, you'll get it back in bonus bets. All you got to do is scan the QR code and use code word Woodward1000. Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports.
All right, so I've tried to be a voice of reason, and sometimes you can't be a voice of reason, and I understand it. I don't want one human being out there. You'll know when I'm shitting on you. I'm not going to shit on you too much about this, man. All I'm going to say is it's Brad Holmes. It's this culture, all those things. Just chill for a little bit, but I know it's not going to work for some of you, and that's okay. So that's why Dr. Foster's in here today.
Hello.
Terry?
Yes.
Has Brad Holmes done enough in free agency?
I think he has. But you have hear me out.
You, Terry.
I'm one of those dudes with the National Football League. I don't want a high-profile, high-priced dude because they usually don't work out. It's the guy that every fan says, gotta bring him in. Those guys come in, get injured, get fat, don't play up to their potential, and you pay $30 million. You're paying the guy for what he did 5-6 years ago, not for what he's going to do for your franchise. The National Football League is a young man's game.
It is.
That's just the way it is. So I'm fine with him bringing the band back. I would like for him to bring Zadarius Smith back to see what he's going to be like in training camp, what he's going to be like for week 1. What's he actually going to be like playing opposite of Aiden Hutchinson? Because when they made the deal to bring him here, that was one of the first things people said, oh, wait until he's playing alongside Aiden Hutchinson. Boy, it's going to be pretty good. Now you're going to not have him there? I would sign him. And maybe that's what they're going to do. Maybe they feel they can sign him for less money. But, yeah, I'd bring the band back. Remember, this was the hottest team in the National Football League.
Mm-hmm.
These dudes were good. The defense wasn't stellar, but it was pretty damn good.
Especially when they were mostly healthy. They were really good.
The injuries I saw with the Detroit Lions, I've never seen in my life with any team, any sport, any unit, anything. It was a flukish thing. Now, my guess is this. Law of averages say you're going to be somewhat healthy this year. Yeah, you get injuries every year in the National Football League because it's such a violent sport. But I think these guys are going to be relatively healthy. We're not going to see 22 dudes go down. We're not going to see the too deep get injured too with the defense. Law of averages, they're going to be fine. I think the Lions are doing the right thing. Plus, there's another thing. I'm sick and tired of questioning Brad Holmes because at the end of the day, he can look at you and say,
he low-key be flaming
y'all
the shit out the
all
fans.
been out of shape. What did we say? Jahmyr Gibbs. Why did he draft Jahmyr Gibbs? And then Jack Campbell on the back end of that. What's he thinking?
It worked.
It worked. Everything's working.
I forget it Terry, the injuries, that is not an overstatement. Injuries happen. What happened to the Lions is I mean, that's unthinkable, okay? And Spenny, I don't know if it was you and Easy, the heavyweights that had like a graph on the show. For some reason, I think it was your show that showed the injuries in the league last year, right? And you see this team with 5, this team with 6, this team with 7. And then you see the Lions, and the line just juts right out there. I mean, that was extraordinary. Okay, that was okay. It's one thing. Oh man, the injury bug hit. The injury bug's going to hit. This is the National Football League. Okay, what happened to the Lions was absurd, and I'm so glad you brought this up because I was going to get into this into the next segment. Because Spenny asked a question: does Brad still need an edge rusher? And I think that is a great question, and I'll tell you why I think it's a great question. Because of the things that you were just talking about, and I'm going to call me out. Nobody else. I'm going to call me out. Okay. A year ago at this time, tell me if this sounds familiar. I think the Detroit Lions have one of the best, probably top 3 offensive lines in the league and a top 5 defensive line. Did you guys feel that way?
Yeah.
Did you feel that way last? Did you feel that way last year?
Yes.
Spenny, did you feel that way last year?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Do we?
Do you know who we fall asleep on?
What's that?
Aleem McNeil.
Right.
That dude can play.
Yeah. I don't think we've fallen asleep.
Got to stay healthy.
He's your best pass rusher from the interior, but like Spenny said, back-to-back seasons, he's gotten injured right when he was looking to turn the corner is when he gets injured.
So let me ask the people out there. Did you feel that same way? A year ago at this time, March 14th, 2024, we're having one of these conversations on Woodward Sports. And I sit back and I say, I think the Detroit Lions have a top 5 defensive line and a top 5 offensive line. Now, many non-Lion fans would go, oh, you slapdicks, I can't believe you. I don't think there's a Lion fan in there that would have argued with that. Not one. Okay?
Especially after the signing of DJ Reader and people of that nature. Because before that, it was still kind of slim pickings, at least 100. On the other side of Hutch.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you bring DJ Reader in, you had Aleem, and then you had Hutch for another season looking to take that next step. Yeah.
Once we did that, didn't we all, in my mind, I honestly, and I still feel this way, top 3 offensive line. I was not one of those slapdicks that said number 1 at no point in time, but top 5. And I think some of the same people who are screaming at us today, you need to make the big, bold move. You need to go get this. You need to go get that. I think they're the same people that if I was saying it a year ago or Spenny was saying it a year ago, would have killed us. Would have killed us. What are you talking? This is a top 5 line. I don't know, man. It's good. There are pieces, but I don't know if the depth's there. Oh, you guys just troll. You damn guys at Woodward. I can't stand you. It would have been that conversation. So I'm asking a serious question here, okay? Do I want an edge rusher? Absolutely. I'll go a step further. I want an edge rusher and a D lineman. But, Spenny, to your comment, do we need one? Do we really need one?
I think you need an edge.
Yes.
I think you need an edge.
Right, but again,
but it doesn't have to be.
Draft.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be Myles Garrett or Trey Hendrickson. Right. It doesn't have to be one of those.
You need
guys.
a rotational piece, I believe.
Bam. We need. Okay, so right now, this defensive line right now, how would you rank this defensive line? Sitting here today, March 14th, 2025. How good is this defensive line? All things being considered equal, we're healthy.
Sitting right now,
top 15.
I would say, what are we ranking them out of 10?
That's what I would have said 10.
I'd say in the top 15.
That's fine.
If everybody's healthy as constructed.
Right.
But
Davenport, your starter again.
You're still going to add a draft pick to that. He's going to, one of the first 2 picks is going to be an edge. And I think they're going to get another veteran to throw on that rotation. Shout out to Michael Wary in the Woodward Sports chat with the super chat. He says, some of you so-called Lions fans are fake. We won the division 2 years in a row, played well with a ton of backups, filling in, and you're still not happy. Either get on board or get lost. IJS. I'm just saying. I think I'm...
But you know what? This is the National Football League. You're never happy with your team unless they win the Super Bowl. People in Kansas City bitching about the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
They won 2 in a row.
Wasn't part of the... whether we want to admit it or not, wasn't part of the Sunday night fun. Holy shit, look what we're doing to the Vikings and look what we're doing to the Vikings with what we have. Wasn't that part of the – it was for me.
Absolutely.
It was – because, listen, I said it when I was doing the show with Neil. I was terrified, guys. I was. And you could call me a little goo-goo baby, and I had my little lion blanket, and I'm sucking my thumb tea, and I'm so scared of this game. And then as you're watching that game, you're going, we're going to steamroll them.
Yeah.
And as it started
9
to get away,
points.
you saw it coming, right?
9 points.
But wasn't part of the magic to me, Terry, is look what we're doing and look what we're doing it with. Wasn't that part of the fun?
Right. You got guys who were working at gas stations before,
Yeah.
or making stuffed animals, or they weren't playing football.
So if Brad can find guys like that to help them get to 15-2 and win the biggest regulation game of the entire season, all right, what do you think he might do in the draft? What do you think he might do when teams have to make business decisions? What do you think he's going to do? I am worried about Brad Holmes.
Yeah, be optimistic or opportunistic, like he always is.
I am worried about Brad Holmes.
And you can be opportunistic if you want some good weed to smoke. All you got to do is go to Jars Cannabis. They got the DMAC pack. You can get it yourself. They have top shelf quality, unmatched variety, and it is priced for the people. Jars Cannabis, they got locations all over the place. They are one of the premier names in cannabis in Michigan. So check out Jars Cannabis. Go to shopjars.com or check them out on social media at jars_life, Jars Cannabis. If you need to just get right, go to Jars. They'll take care of you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit down, relax, get an award-winning haircut from one of our lovely, talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. You can get a hot leather, neck shave, scalp massage, hot towel treatment, all that good stuff. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit down. Open 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Hey, Sean, we back.
See, this is what we're talking about, though, right? It's all right. So you got the Michigan State game coming up, and then you got to put this picture behind me.
Sorry, man. It's on the log.
See, look at Terry. Look at Terry.
Well, that's because of you, man.
No, you know what?
I'm looking at the pepperoni when they curl up.
Yes.
Yeah, oh my God.
And they get that little grease in the
Yes,
middle.
it's the best.
Terry and I, it was like we were at the DIA or something, and they had this new art exhibit, right? And Terry and I were both just looking at that like it was a piece of art. And I guess it is.
Yeah,
It
Sean, what do you
is.
think that's
Absolutely.
worth? About $1.5 million?
Easy. Look at the top of that pan, though. That is such a key component. Like where that cheese is kind of stuck to the pan there.
Yep.
Spenny, you were saying, like, okay, your ultimate pizza,
Yeah.
mushroom and bacon.
Mushroom and bacon, yes.
I'm not going to hate you for it, but you're not a pepperoni guy.
Not a pepperoni guy. I mean, like, I don't hate pepperonis. Like, I'll eat pepperoni. But if there's a cheese pizza and a pepperoni pizza, I would eat the cheese pizza.
Here's what you need to get. They got a cheese bread, and they'll sprinkle some bacon on for you.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, that's the best.
The Jets bread, that's good stuff.
Ooh.
Yep.
All right, I have to go around the room. Terry, not the family, you. You're sitting at home. You got nothing going on. You know what? I'm going to watch the lines tonight. I'm going to sit. You're in the mood for a pizza. What are you getting on your pie?
Pepperoni, mushroom, green pepper, red onion.
Oh, you okay?
That sounds good to me.
Like that. Yeah. That sounds like a house special, right? That's
this is my thing.
I like that. I'll eat that.
And you said mushroom and bacon.
Yeah, I like green pepper as well. I mean, like I said, if there's no limit to condiments, I would do mushroom, bacon, green pepper, and black olive. And again, it's not like I don't like pepperoni. Like, I'll eat pepperoni. I'm fine with it. It's just, I think it's overrated.
I'm looking at you.
Yeah, I know. I would do deep dish, of course. Got to go pepperoni, bacon, banana peppers. I'm a big fan of banana peppers. Probably some garlic cloves. Some places you can get the garlic on there. And if I'm feeling fancy, I might do feta cheese too. But Parmesan all over. Oh, we talking.
Chase?
Deep dish. I'd like a little bit of like basil and oregano into the crust. Probably a little bit of like salt and pepper too. Some Cajun seasoning.
Oh, I love Cajun.
I like some sesame in there.
Are you from Malibu?
No, T-Foss, I've worked at a few pizza places in my life. I used to whip them up in the...
Well, I don't care, but you sound like you're from Malibu.
This is my pie. This is my... I can do whatever.
Don't be hating, man.
It's your pie. I'm simply saying, sounds like you're from Malibu.
Light cheese. I'm not a big cheese guy.
Light cheese.
Pepperoni.
He's from Malibu.
You are from Malibu.
I don't like cheese.
Really?
Insane.
Yeah, like it's like pizza's like the exception to the rule, but I just like the genuine flavor of cheese I do not enjoy. It doesn't matter, like cheddar, Parmesan, like any other Colby Jack, pepper jack. Like I do not like cheese.
Cheese makes everything better.
It's a thing when I go out to eat and I order a hamburger. They always ask me what kind of cheese you want on it. And it's like, no, I just want a hamburger. Like I just want the patty and the bun.
He's a Malibu, man. You know,
I
not
like
boots of
condiments
Malibu
too,
barbecue.
I don't really like cheese like that.
You don't even like a cheeseburger?
I don't like cheese. No.
Not a crime.
He likes the burger, just
God
not the
bless
cheese.
you. I'm
You know what?
Taken
All
aback.
my cheese you can have. Like I willfully give it
I'll
up
take
to
it
you.
too. I'll take
If I have a
every-
I'll take his
cheeseburger,
cheese, too.
it has to be a fat patty. If it's like a little tiny patty, I don't want cheese on it because the cheese takes over the burger.
And at that point in time, though, I need a really healthy dose of cheese on it too. I don't want it to take over the burger. That is well stated, but I need a healthy dose of cheese on my cheeseburger. Don't give me just
What
one
about a
slice.
slider?
Sliders are different.
See, sliders, I don't put cheese on.
No,
the
sliders are
You
different.
don't?
They're different. They're
This is like a grilled cheese, man.
double
Cheese
pepperoni
on a
for me.
slider? Oh
Like,
my God.
sorry, just
But yeah.
give me double pepperoni. I'm good.
You don't
to
like
go.
no other toppings?
I'll do it, but if it's my pizza, like I'm just sitting at home. Lions are playing a Sunday night game. Oh my gosh, nobody's home. I got nothing to do tonight. I like double pepperoni.
Double pep.
Yep.
Double pep. Can't go wrong with double pep.
That's the way to go.
Old world pepperoni and the cup pepperoni.
You have to
preferably.
Have, no, you because then you can when it cups up and they have that little grease, I can do shots with it. I can take one of the pepperoni. and
Taking
just
shots of grease is
doing
crazy.
doing shots of grease.
There was a place that did a triple pepperoni, Sean. They did the old world cup pepperonis, the traditional, but then also like when you go to Subway and you get those like large, thick deli style slices that are like salami, and all three blended in there. It was fantastic.
Now, one of the lovely ladies is in here. We're talking about pizza, and you should have seen her head pop around. Look at that pie up there, right?
She likes Papa John's, man. We asked her.
Yeah?
We asked her about Papa
Oh
John's.
my God.
That's
That is crazy.
That's respect to
Crazy
each your
work.
own, right?
I tell you, I don't like Papa John's. I don't like Dolly's.
Is Dolly still around? I
Yes,
haven't heard
there's
Dolly's
one in my
pizza.
neighborhood.
Jesus Christ.
There's
It's
another
awful.
one.
I ain't heard
like,
of Dolly since I was
the
a kid.
two that kind of burst on the scene were like, because you know how it is. Everybody like the new guy. Everybody, you got to check out this place. You got to check out this place. There was a Papa John's, which I'm with all of you. I mean, just hard no, sorry.
Yeah.
And then what was Marco's?
Marco's is good. You sleeping. You sleep.
Didn't like it.
That was the
Didn't like it.
Marco's.
that was like the concession stand pizza, like our high school, like growing up. Is Marco's. That was like the local place. So we had a lot of that growing up.
Now, in some of the. Sorry, Spenny.
same
That's what you get for putting up that
No, you're
picture,
fine.
dude. You got to own that.
Technically,
You
I put it up. but-
Okay, all right. So you got to own
Yeah.
that.
Dude,
I
You
had
gotta talk to
heard.
Brady and the sales team.
I had heard about Green Lantern for like years.
Yeah.
And then that's more of a, where I am. I'm like out in Narnia. We didn't have any Green Lanterns out in Narnia. But I had heard about Green Lantern for years, and finally one came there about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It is absolutely
good.
legit. It is up there.
Yep.
It is up there with anything.
So good.
It really is. It is absolutely legit.
One of my girls works at the Green Lantern. I think it's what's it? It's in Macomb County.
Okay.
It's really good.
That's a good the good thing about that is I can go down the road on the way home. Not saying that I'm going to get that thin crust thing, but on the way home I can get that. Where I live, I can go 3 miles one way or 3 miles the other way to go get buddies, and that's the beautiful thing about it. So good stuff. All right,
we had a little mishap when I came back from Punta Cana.
Mm-hmm.
We flew into Charlotte to get a connection to Detroit. Missed our flight because the one from Punta Cana was late.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get to the hotel, no restaurants are open. So Abs is like calling. My wife Abs is calling around, and she found this place called Jim's Pizza. And all it was a plain old pizza box, and it had Jim on it. This was the best stuff I've had in a long time.
Yeah. It's always good finding a hole in the wall.
I know,
is,
man. It was,
Freddie.
Yeah.
Freddie does it right, man. Make no mistake about that. By the way, you guys, you can all get mad at me like my family did. I left this out. I like New York style or thinner crust. I do.
So do I.
I'm not mad at that. I like both.
The Buddy's thin crust is phenomenal. Like
I'm gonna try it, bro. You keep hyping it up. I didn't even know they had a thin crust until you said it.
yeah, but when you go to New York,
like
what's
Buddy's.
that orange stuff that you get?
What orange stuff?
It's orange stuff on that pizza.
Grease.
Yeah,
It's grease.
Okay. It's too much. It's too much grease, man.
I'm
not
kind
a
of with
fan.
you, Sean. I think it's like at home. Like if I'm at home, I'd like a deep dish. But like if I'm out, I think like the New York style is just like a nicer.
Love
like,
it. Yeah, love it. And that the best thing about like Buddy's thin crust is it tastes like a Buddy's pizza. It does. Like it's like you're getting the Buddy's experience, but not with all the dough.
I feel you.
Man,
I
it's
do like
good.
the dough though. Goddamn.
There's that Buddy's crunch. Mm-hmm. Because the magic that has happened in those pans over the years, I don't even want to know what's happened in those pans. I just know that it tastes
You know
damn
those
good.
pans originally came from?
Wasn't it like changing oil?
Ford
or something?
factory.
The auto factory.
Yeah, that's what I
Wow.
thought. It was something with the
Right.
auto factory, right?
And you don't want the new pan. You want it to be old and black and
1,000%.
Yeah.
with all kinds of stuff in it.
flavor.
Yeah, seasoned.
Yeah.
We need to take this whole segment and just send it to buddies. Like, hey, we showed y'all some.
Just
love.
like the other
Got
thing.
a whole
Dude, that's
segment off.
porn. I don't care.
When,
I
when-
can't
when
keep
White
my eyes
Castle's opens up a new place, don't go. Wait 3-4 months. let the grill get dirty and seasoned.
Yeah,
and stuff,
that
and
is
then
true.
get the burgers.
It's got to
in.
have that stuck on food on there still for it to really hit.
My son, I
Bristle.
buy those boxes that they sell in the freezer. That kid, I can't keep him in the house.
Yeah.
He just, especially like now that he's back from Cali, right? You know, he's out in California for a while, and he was like, "Dad, you know, you hear people talk about it, you don't get it until you move away." All he wants is Vernors now because he could, like, seriously,
Yeah.
he could not drink Vernors. He goes, "Dad, I maybe had 2 or 3 Vernors a year. Now all I want to drink is Vernors," and really. It's White Castles.
Yeah.
So I go to the freezer. You get, I don't know what it is, 20-pack or whatever it is.
Yeah. The
All day.
The
he
freezer
just pops
ones-
them all day. I go, you got a problem, kid. You got to lighten up.
the freezer ones are good, but ain't nothing like
No,
the
not
fresh
like
White
the
Castle.
hot
There's
sauce.
They don't
something
hit
wrong
the
with
exact
bun.
same.
Yeah.
The bun is not steamed and delicious.
Yeah, like a
It's
fresh
soggy,
White Castle.
but not steam soggy.
Right.
Like when you pop those in the microwave, I'm not hating on them. They're all right.
Put them in the air fryer. It's actually a little better. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's the other thing, man.
You got to take them apart. Like you can't just put the whole sandwich in there. Take it apart. But oh my god, it's so good when you put it in the air
Don't
fryer.
put your pizza. Don't put anything in the microwave anymore.
Yeah.
Air fryer.
Yeah.
If you do put something in the microwave, like bread wise, you have 2 options to like help keep it moist. You can either put it with a glass of water, like a small cup of water, or wrap it in a damp tablecloth
paper
or paper
towel,
towel
yeah.
because
I used to
like
do
the
that.
microwave it like
Look at Betty
vaporizes
Crocker
the water
over here, man.
vapor.
Right, it changed your nerd. No.
Stop it!
Betty Crocker was telling us when you put bread in here, you gotta get a nice moist towel and put it on for 12 seconds, not 13.
It's 8, T-Foss.
Oh, it's 8? I'm sorry, Betty.
You know what though, and I think Terry can vouch for this. You know that the guys that love to play around on their smoker, you do a brisket. You know how to tell me you don't know what you're doing? Don't have a little pan in there. Don't have a little moisture in there with your brisket.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to tell me Hey, man, I can only pop it up once, but I want you to look at this bad boy. You don't have a pan in there? I'm like, this cat.
Do you even grill, bro?
Yeah, this cat don't know what he's doing. All right, so, Terry, right now I'm at the point with the Detroit Tigers. I'm stuck between 110 wins and 111 wins. That's where I'm at right now. We'll get into that next here. Update from Lakeland, but first, tell the people about Mark White.
Yeah. All right, good rebound.
I told you somebody was watching the game. I told you.
About Mark White. Wow. Michigan State up 4-0. 6-0 now on Oregon. Shout out to them. Mark White will get you in your dream home. If you're looking to buy or sell your your house, he'll save you up to $5,000 your closing costs. Visit him at markwhitesells.com or call him at 248-290-8242. That's 248-290-8242. Mark White will get you into your dream home.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports is at it again, giving away more cash and prizes than anyone in Detroit. Get into our March Bracket Challenge, powered by Jug and Nathan Neurosurgery. If you have the biggest basketball brain and get first place, you win $1,000, cold, hard cash. But it doesn't stop there. Second place gets a weekend at Grand Traverse Resort in Traverse City, including brunch at Erie and golf. Third place, 2 club seats to see the Pistons versus Bucks with food and drinks courtesy of RHB Laboratories in Troy. You can pre-register now at woodwardsportsbracket.com. That's woodwardsportsbracket.com. Then, after Selection Sunday, fill out your bracket for your chance at $1,000 in cash, money, and more. Pick by mascot, choose by team colors, have your dog pick. No matter how you do it, go to woodwardsportsbracket.com right now and register. All powered by the best in the game, Jug and Nathan Neurosurgery and Woodward Sports.
Les Stanford Buick GMC has great offers for everyone. Get a 2024 Envision Avenir for only $299 per month. Try out the 2025 Sierra Crew Cab Elevation for $229 per month. Don't forget about the 2025 Hummer EV for $799 per month. Go to Les Stanford today and check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford Buick GMC, lesstanford.com.
All right, welcome back, Woodward Sports. Glad you could join us. It is Big D Energy. Neil gone, Matt gone, Terry Foster and Amon. The gang is all here, though. We got KG, we got Chase, and we got Spenny. Well, we really don't have Spenny. Spenny's gone.
MSU's up 10-4.
Yeah,
I'm a little preoccupied
Spenny's
right
in
now.
Spartan World right now. Let's be perfectly blunt. Shout out to the Spartan hockey team, by the way, Spenny. I'm sure you'll appreciate that.
Yep.
Big game.
No one cares.
I know that, but he and I do.
I care, Terry.
He and I do, right? We care about that.
Shout out to Coach Nightingale.
Yeah, and Jeff Jackson, great career. I'm glad it's going to end where it started.
Yeah.
It's kind of mean, but most of you don't get that. But anyway, Torque has an OPS over 1,000, Terry.
He's back.
Casey Mize, it finally all came together. All the promises come together. I'm going to read this as Spenny put it on the sheet. Are you ready? Surely the Tigers are World Series bound, right?
You know what? For many, many, many years, here's what we heard out of spring training. Miguel Cabrera is in the best shape of his life. Now you know what that's going to morph into now that he's retired? Javi Baez is going to turn his career around. Watch.
Yep.
Not buying it.
This is where, it's nice to see Mize. It's nice to see, in particular, it's nice to see Torque. I don't know what your guy, I don't know Torque at all. I think I talked to him one time a few years ago. I don't know him at all. Torque seems like a good dude to me. Do you get the impression?
I was kind of iffy on him because, a couple months ago he came out and said that he didn't really watch film and stuff like that. And then you kind of heard some rumblings last year when he was down in AAA that, you know, he's stubborn when it comes to like maybe changing things mechanically. But I don't know him personally, so I don't think he's like a.
Can I take a timeout now?
Yeah.
You know who else did not watch film? His mentor, Miguel Cabrera.
But that's Miguel Cabrera.
I know. But he was on the plane teaching these guys how to hit.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he told them, I don't watch that stuff.
Yeah. Well,
but here's what you need to do.
And you took the words right out of my mouth. When I had bitter beer face when I heard those comments.
Yeah.
Like we were in here that day, Spenny. You remember that? And
Oh, yeah.
And I don't need to do that stuff.
The dumbest thing I've ever heard.
We have all this state of the art stuff. I don't need to do that
Yeah,
stuff.
like,
And okay,
what?
even if that's the truth, okay, whatever. Like you said, Terry, some guys don't need to do it. Right now, you're Spencer Torkelson. You are struggling mightily. Lie.
Yeah.
Seriously, lie. Just go, yeah, man, anything I need to do to get this turned around, I am willing to listen to anybody. I am willing to take advice from anybody. I wish Al Kaline was still here to give me advice. I would take advice from Ty Cobb. I wouldn't want to live my life like Ty Cobb, but I would take advice from anybody right now. Terry, you're at that point where I mean...
Or you could expand upon it and say, you know, the guy who's been mentoring me doesn't watch film. He's encouraged me not to watch film, but we do other stuff.
Yeah, but he ain't been on the team in a year and almost
He's
a
still
half
there.
now. So, well, Mickey,
Yeah.
he not on the team no more.
He was
Are
down
you
there.
still there?
He's down there in spring training.
He's down there in spring
Oh,
training.
okay,
He's,
okay, yeah,
He was
yeah.
in the dugout.
Consultant,
Got
whatever
it.
he is.
Okay.
Just because you don't play doesn't mean you can't
Well,
pass along
No,
knowledge.
absolutely. But I think either he's a hypocrite or he's finally saw the light of day. Because Dan Dickerson, he was on Ermanni and Edwards, sometime earlier this week, and he was talking about the changes that Torque has made, and it seems like he has made some mechanical changes. Like he's sitting a little bit lower in his stance now. His bat trajectory is a little different, and he said it felt weird for the first couple weeks, but he's starting to see results, and that is why Torque is having a hell of a spring. Is because he's made those changes.
Who would have thought?
Well,
know,
and
right?
that was part of my issue. I didn't think the dude's a bad dude, but like I don't care who you are, and this is something that goes for really any industry, including our industry. The day I stop being a sponge, it's time for me to go do something else.
For real.
Yeah,
I can learn something every fucking day.
Come on, Coop.
I can learn something from you kids. I can learn something from Terry.
Yeah.
Like the day I stop being a sponge, man, if I become the smartest guy in the world, maybe my cranial power will allow me to float away and I'll just elevate to a higher plane or
Megamind.
something. It's like
All right,
that's the
clowns.
kind of stuff that drives me out of my mind.
Clowns.
Yeah.
Got a question for you.
All right.
Who makes the bigger impact this year? Baez or Torkelson?
I want to say Torque, but he's not going to be every day. He kind of shot himself in the foot. So if Colt Keith works out at first, I don't know.
I cannot
It's a tough
buy
question.
it with Javi in any way, shape, or form. I can't. I'm sorry.
Not even with him playing third. He playing third base now.
Dude, come on now. Stop it. You may as well just leave third vacant.
Damn.
Have him
Dude,
play
we
like in the
talked-
outfield or something.
Our infield,
Bad.
This is going to be a comedy of errors.
And,
Pun intended. It really is.
You know what? Instead of playing Baez at third base, you should do like you do in softball. Have the 4 outfielders.
Burn in the Woodward Sports Chat with a super chat. He
Shout
said
out.
Cobb would tell Torque stop swinging for the fences like a wimp, small ball and drop kick anyone trying to tag you out. That's fair. With the Torkelson thing, like you said, do you think he's a good guy? He seems like a total bro. Like I feel like
Right,
I
that's
feel
what
like
I'm
I would
getting
get
at.
along with Torkelson great.
Yeah.
I feel like me and Torque would slam some beers. We'd talk about fucking football or baseball or something. We'd get along great. But like you said, Sean, when he said that shit pissed me off so much. But you could tell, like KG said, that he has made adjustments to his swing, and that is a good thing. And now, obviously, he's crushing it in spring training. I pray to God that he can do this in the regular season because Lord knows that this team needs a power right-handed bat. So if Torque is back, if Torque has a comeback season, like you said, Sean, like you coined, it's going to be pants off summer for me. If Torque goes out there and he's hitting 35 bombs this year, which I'm not projecting, hopefully over 20, it'd be pants off summer for me. I would be ecstatic.
I think there's reason to be excited about this team. Like, obviously, I'm being sarcastic when I'm talking about 110 110 and 111 wins. I mean, the way people are carrying on. I think there's some things that you have to remember, okay? And this is where if you are putting anything into exhibition football, I am so serious.
Yeah.
If you're putting anything into exhibition football, just don't talk to me. Take that someplace else, okay? And while I'm not going to say that the same dynamic exists in spring training, you have to ask yourself who these guys are doing what they're doing against, okay? And this is where my fear comes in, Terry. I fear that Matt Manning is nothing but a 4A guy.
Yeah, he's horrible for
I feel that he's a 4A guy.
He hasn't improved at all.
Casey Mize.
I'm still holding out some hope for him, but I do get it at this point.
You understand, though.
Yeah,
it's like
between the three of the I'm backs of Titans, between Baez, Torkelson, and Mize, the I'm back trio, I have the most faith in Casey Mize.
Yeah.
Because we have Chris Fetter. And he has a track record
well,
of making
there's
guys
some
like
validity
that
there.
work.
There's some validity there.
Yeah.
But you wonder who's he doing it against? You know, I think because I have so much of him.
I mean, he's been starting. It's not like he's coming in on relief, so he's going against the starters.
How much I've seen him struggle and not be that guy that we all thought he was going to be is fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
And if you are using as Exhibit A what he's done in his 3 innings of spring training versus Exhibit B, what we've seen the last couple of years, Terry.
I mean, it's 11, to be fair.
Right,
it's 11 innings of spring training
But
ball.
you understand what
I know what
3
you mean.
here, 2 there,
Yeah.
3 here. It's just, come on.
He just
It's
has
good
it.
to
Other
see
thing
the
is we don't
velocity
know if
jump.
guys are just working on pitches. Are they really trying to get people out? Or, some days, Tuesday's my day. I'm working 2 innings. I'm working my curveball. I don't care if they hit it or not. I'm going to try to make it better. So we don't know that. So spring training is just getting you ready for the regular season, but it doesn't really say much about you as a player.
I think Mize, though, he's trying to make this rotation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's not a given that he's going to make – it is now, the way he's been with the Cobb injury and the way he's been pitching it is. But at the beginning of spring training, he wasn't penciled into this rotation
I think
by
he was
any
the odd
means.
man looking out.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, at the beginning of
He
camp.
went out there, he's got 11 innings pitched, 14 strikeouts, a 0.0 ERA, and an under 1 whip. Like,
Yeah.
And he made the rotation off of what he's done in spring ball so far.
And his problem has always been he just didn't have the reps because of all the injuries he incurred. We all knew that coming out of the draft, the type of stuff he had, and I still think he still possesses a lot of that stuff in his repertoire. He just gotta get used to being on the field and being that consistent guy. And if he makes the rotation, you'll be a starter. We'll see how it looks, but I would agree this is probably his last chance at really, at least for the Tigers, trying to be that guy.
I think part of the problem is, and again, I want to Casey Mize. What a great guy, good dude, just a good dude. I can't tell you how hard I'm pulling for the guy. But I got to be honest with you, I'm getting a lot of Matt Manning vibes. I hope this is real.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that bad.
But you know what I mean?
He had a 4 ERA last year, I believe.
It's never going to happen vibes.
Yeah.
Like you might be a cute little, all right, we're going to roll you out there. You're going to be our cute little 4th starter and things like that. And listen, for this franchise, you can't have your number 1 be that, man. I'm sorry.
But that wasn't a draft pick done by Scott. I mean, that was on Al Avila, and it didn't work out. It did look good at the time, but overall, I think we all need to realize as fans, he's probably never going to be that 1-1, top of the rotation guy that just sits down 12 batters. He's not going to be that. But
and that's isn't that part of what made those Tiger teams from a decade plus ago so good?
No, absolutely.
I mean, like our 3-4 on any game. Rick Porcello. Now, we all know the Rick Porcello experience, right? It was
not a
either
fan.
this or it was there. My man lasted 2 2/3 and gave up 6 hits and 5 earned runs. But Fister, there were times
Anibal Sanchez.
2013, Anibal Sanchez was sick.
Oh, yeah.
He was sick.
Doug Fister
I was
was
at
the
the
man.
game
I
where
love Doug
what was
Fister,
it? What
bro.
did he strike out? 17 or whatever the fuck it was? Yeah, Atlanta was lost. Absolutely. We're at that game going, okay, do you see what Anibal Sanchez might be the best pitcher in baseball. And if you remember, that's when Verlander kind of found himself again late in that year and he became unconscious. But that was the thing, Terry. If Verlander was faltering, right? If Verlander was faltering, any one of those guys, whether it be Pfister, whether it be Porcello, any one of those guys could step up and be the ace for a spell of time.
Yeah, true.
And
I mean, you probably not getting that out of Mize, but if he can be a 3 ERA, type of starter in your rotation, I think that's perfectly fine.
Dude, honestly, I'm not joking. I would take that. Give me 6 innings, give up 3 earned runs.
Yeah, there you go.
4.5
Our
ERA.
bullpen is great. Yeah, just go out there.
I would have no problem if he was that type of guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's realistic for this team, though? Seriously. And I know we're up against a break. As a matter of fact, can we do that when we come back?
Yeah, let's go.
And then we'll get into some Red Wings stuff. What's realistic for this team? I want to go around the room and ask all you guys where you're at right now on March 14th. But first, Spenny, tell them about Feldman.
Feldman Chevrolet of Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer and the #1 Chevy dealer in the state for 6 straight years. You can get the 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab for $199 per month, or the 2025 Equinox LT four-wheel drive for $249 per month. Make sure you check out Feldman Chevrolet of Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, and you know that Woodward Sports is always in there doing broadcasts. It's in Sean's backyard. Come out and join us at Feldman Chevrolet and get a car. Get a car while you're at it.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
So 2006, my son was 5 at the time. We started taking road trips, and so every summer we go to multiple road trips. So Spenny loves going on the road trips with us. That's why he just pumped out.
Great
but
time.
we started taking road trips, and believe it or not, we've been to all the places like in our radius except Milwaukee. So I'm going to take him to see a Brewer game a month from now, and man, Terry, Milwaukee's a cool town.
Beautiful ballpark.
Beautiful ballpark, and I liked Milwaukee. That downtown area was
it's
cool,
amazing. Man. Like literally, I was surprised at how nice downtown Milwaukee is.
I told you.
But like I said, everywhere else around Wisconsin,
He
not so
sounded
much.
like Balin out loud. Girl with Tourette's.
Push.
Eat that.
Oh, throw the lob.
Eat
Go
that.
car. Oh, he missed the dunk. No.
There it is. Terry, what's realistic about this ball team?
To be competitive in that division.
Yep.
I don't think they're going to win it. I know they played good baseball at the end. I thought that was a little bit of a fluke.
It was.
You had teams falling apart. I don't see them win the division, but the pitching is better. I would feel a lot better if they just released Baez, because I think the team played better without him. And you know how you can tell that he's a little bit of a cancer on the team? Because you keep hearing how everybody loves him.
Mm-hmm.
And unsolicited. That means you got a problem and you trying to mask it. And I'm a results-oriented guy. If I see a team playing better when somebody's not in there, I don't want them here. Pay them off.
I'll tell you point blank. I think you released you release that guy, and you eat that money.
You got to do it anyway.
You're telling everybody you're serious about winning.
Yeah, he's getting paid whether he's on the team or not.
Oh,
so I would much rather free up that spot for a young, hungry guy to come in and try to make something happen.
We are serious about winning. I'm willing to eat this. We are really, really serious about winning, and unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Terry, I'm in the exact same spot, and my buddies are all agitated at me. It was a near miracle last year. We can all admit it. That doesn't mean we don't love it.
Yeah.
But pitching chaos, Bo Brisky going out like Cy Young every single day. All of it. I want them to be competitive. I think they're going to be around 500. I'm hoping for better.
Damn, 500. Yeesh.
Honestly, 81, 82 wins.
I think they'll be above 500.
I was a little bit optimistic last year just based on the fact that it was an evaluation year. You had to see what you have. You were starting to come around with AJ Hinch and some of your players were growing. But this year, you do have some kind of expectations because we all know that Miracle Run was great, but you got to do something, bro. I got them at I really want to say 90 wins. If they perform like they're doing in spring training right now, I have no doubt they can be a 90-win team, but I really got them as a wild card, like deep down. I don't think they'll win the division because it's just Cleveland's still good. The Royals on the way.
Mr. Knucklehead, didn't we just lecture you about 20 minutes ago? Don't worry about the results in spring training. It's fake.
I'm not. No, absolutely.
Who
but
are they playing against?
Hopefully, your young guys that you are seeing this stuff from, hopefully they can grow in that way. Because if they can, this team was already good. They just need consistent offense. The pitching, not the problem. So, but I got them around 90 wins on the optimistic side of things.
I was surprised. I think Pacoda had them at 69 wins. I think that was the number.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which was crazy.
They won 80 plus wins last year. I think 85.
85. I
yeah,
think, right? Yeah.
I had them at 84 last year.
I was kind of surprised at that. And what really surprised me is they had them fourth in the division. Now, again, Pacoda's just something that I look at. That's just something over the years my buddies and I have looked at. Sometimes it works really well, like startingly well, but other times it doesn't work. And I think there are, when you do simulations like that, and this has always been my issue, I think, with some of the Sabre stuff, okay? You use it. Right. But there are other things that you don't take into consideration when you're doing things like this. Like, I was talking to somebody in hockey that I think you look at advanced metrics. You're an idiot if you don't look at advanced metrics. But advanced metrics doesn't take into consideration.
If you're also an idiot if you use it exclusively.
You got it.
Right.
Chase and I could have the exact same metrics. We could be the exact same players, all right? But I could go into a corner chasing a puck with a dozen eggs in my pocket, and not one of them's going to be broken.
Yeah.
Okay? Where Chase goes into the corner, and Chase is going to do every gosh damn thing he can to get that fucking puck out, and he's going to be covered in egg.
Yeah.
Well, who do I want? I'll take
course.
him every day, right?
course.
And so I think sometimes, and I've had conversations, and Terry, you and I both know people who it is the gospel, it is unarguable. I think people like that don't understand the time-honored, there are always exceptions to rules. No. This is you're going to argue with science? You're going to argue with math? Well, sometimes there are some exceptions. So yes, I am.
Yeah.
When these numbers tell me a lot of times that pitcher A is better than Justin Verlander, yeah, I have a problem with that. I got a big problem with that. Chase, where are you at with these Tigers?
I'm feeling pretty optimistic. I mean, last year I thought they had a chance to be pretty good, and the only thing that concerns me is Parker Meadows' injury. I know obviously we've been dealing with issues in the infield, but our outfield and our young guys are what we're looking for towards the future, because it's not just about this year; it's beyond, and in the years beyond. So hopefully, whatever's dealing with him, the nerve issue that he's lingering and keeping him out of action, is taken care of. I know Dr. Pierce kind of talked about it a little bit yesterday when he was on E&E.
Yeah.
So hopefully, that's the only thing I'm kind of looking at and kind of wondering. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed and hopeful with Torkelson with Casey Mize, and if the rumors are true about Javi Baez's LASIK, and I talked about this with T. Foss.
New hip and LASIK.
I'm out on the new hip, but the LASIK, as a man with glasses who does not have 20/20 vision, I will say if he did correct his eyes, I will support him.
That was the problem.
Yeah.
He
that
had
was
blurry
the issue.
vision at the plate. That's all it was.
I didn't like wearing my
LASIK
glasses.
was never a thing.
Yeah, in 7th grade, I started wearing glasses. I felt embarrassed. I didn't like wearing them playing baseball. My dad said, "Put the glasses the fuck on your face." Started hitting the ball a lot better.
Fox 2.
All right, Fox 2. Hey, and shout out to that guy up north. I would absolutely take a chance on Trevor Bauer, but the Tigers won't do it.
Yep.
Like, that's just the reality, but I would do it.
I in a heartbeat, wouldn't even think twice about it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even think twice about it. Spenny, where are you at with these guys?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they make the playoffs this year.
I'm with you.
It's
That's where
tough.
I'm at.
I mean, I don't think Minnesota's going to fall apart like they did last year. The Guardians are good. KC's got one of the best players in baseball. It's a tough division. I know we thought this division was ass last year, but you look at it and it's actually a pretty tough division. So we'll see what happens. If Torkelson can have a big year, and by a big year I mean 240, 25 bombs, then they'll make the playoffs. If he can't, they won't. I think it's that simple.
I still look at this division, though, the same way, and I'll tell you why. There isn't one team in that division that you could look at and go, man, they're going to win the AL.
Yeah.
Ooh, this team, they might win a World Series. I just don't. There's not one team in that division that makes you go.
That's
ooh.
why it's a
no way!
damn shame that the Tigers can't be more competitive in this division.
Amen.
Right.
Amen.
Colin Carr
Amen.
just hit a 3.
You know what? You know what's interesting about this? This
Like
is
his
the
fifth
time
this
of
year,
year.
maybe.
I've forever felt, Terry, the month of August. I call crazy month because KG and I could have a conversation about Michigan football on July 30th, and KG could look at me and go, you know, I think this team's going to be better than people think, but you know what? I'm going to go with 9-3. I'm going to go with 9-3. And then during the course of August, you get more stories and more stories and more footage out there. He and I could have that exact same conversation at the end of August, and KG could look at me and go, please tell me where I'm seeing the loss. Where's the loss coming? And same thing for Spenny. Spenny and I could sit back, and Spenny and I have had this conversation the last couple of years. You know what? Just get me 7 wins.
Right, get a bowl game.
I'm back to that point with Michigan State football. I don't care if I'm in the Pinstripe Bowl. I'm going to take my daughter to the Pinstripe Bowl. We're going to have a great time, whatever. And then, you know what happens? The month of August, you hear all these stories, you see all these things pop up, and Spenny and I are going, dude, I don't know. Maybe this team can win 9 games. So you add 2 or 3 games as the hype comes. And, Terry, the same thing happens with this spring training bullshit. Every year, every single year, you see all these stories. You hear about how hip and eye vision go hand in hand, and all of a sudden you have people who know better. Javi Baez's shot. It's not happening. Stop it, okay? Save this clip. Make fun of me. Do whatever you want. It's not happening. All of a sudden you have these people going, I don't know, dude. Maybe this is what he needed.
That new hip, man.
I don't know, man. I know what I've seen out of Mize the last couple of years, but these 11 innings?
Yes.
Oh, it speaks a lot louder
He's back.
than what we've seen for the last 2 years. And it's like, it's hard to police yourself, but that's what happened. So we're going through a little crazy era right now with the Tigers.
It's crazy because the Tigers are trying to sell hope, and the fans are hoping for hope.
Yep.
So that's why you get into those little crazy.
Yeah, but it's a little different because you just had your first playoff run in a decade. So shit a little different now.
I'm sorry.
You actually got expectations now.
Dude, this reminds me so much of 2007.
Yeah.
Like, I had ordered my playoff tickets before opening day in 2007, right? Of course the Tigers are going to be back.
It'd be different if they made the playoffs then got ran by the Astros. It's like, all right, we knew what this was. But they actually went in and won a damn playoff series. Could have won 2.
I don't blame
just,
people.
to be honest, if Scoobles hadn't just gassed out at the end, they could have won 2 series.
Should have put Scuba game 3.
Yeah.
I don't blame people. And
tell them,
I say it all the time. The thing about that year after the magic of 06 is you had a legitimate MVP candidate. Maglio Ordonez's year that year was disgusting.
Yeah.
It really was. And yet, boy, August came around, and I watched the Cleveland Indians go like this, and I watched the Tigers go like that. And it wasn't supposed to be like that, but it was. Want to get into some wing stuff, but first, Spenny, can you tell the people about Buddy's?
Buddy's Pizza. It's got Sean losing his mind over there every time it pops up. Buddy's Pizza. Make sure you
look
check
at
out.
that.
Buddy's Pizza
That is
created the
porn!
category for the original Detroit-style pizza and has been serving it since 1946 with 22 locations in Michigan. There's always a Buddy's near you. Buddy's is the cornerstone of the city of Detroit, being here for 79 years and is a dedicated community partner with notable partnerships with local organizations like Michigan Humane, Salvation Army, the Detroit Zoo, and many more. Save 10% off your entire order using promo code 10MEAL. That's number 10MEAL. Go find a location near you at buddyspizza.com. Buddy's Pizza, it's a Detroit staple.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. You guys calling everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
All right, Wings back in action tonight down in Raleigh, and I'm serious, and I'm not just saying this because I was fortunate enough to do broadcasts down there. Mark Fellhauer, shout out to Mark Fellhauer. I'm not just saying this because I was fortunate enough to do broadcasts down there. A great place to go see a hockey game. You'd be surprised. Spenny, if you're looking for a cool road trip, go to Raleigh.
Okay.
It is. I'm serious. Great barbecue down there.
Oh, amazing
They know how to
food.
do their pork for sure.
Yeah.
But a really cool atmosphere in the game, man. They're called the Caniacs. It's awesome. It's a really cool experience, and I was very, very, very honored to be able to do some broadcasts for them.
And they tailgate before hockey games.
Oh, they
down
sure
there.
do.
My
And
goodness.
where the Wolfpack play football, like people don't know this, it's like right next door. So it's like they got a really cool tailgate area set up there, T. They really do, because you got to remember they also have to cater to the college football fans as the stadium's right next door. But Wings got a little more help last night with Columbus losing. I was looking at some percentages last night because I'm nerdy like that. Some of the various places that talk about playoff percentages, with all the teams in the mix, the Wings were unfortunately the lowest number. I think the range was from 6% to the highest was 10%. A lot of things working against the Wings, if you pay attention to that stuff, especially the schedule. But Montreal, New York, Ottawa, Columbus, and even the Islanders, because their schedule is a little less than, all had better percentages. But if you listen to guys like me, I'm going to tell you, I understand your frustration. I'll be the first guy to tell you. I'm not sure Steve will. I'll be the first guy to tell you. This rebuild is behind schedule. That's not exactly breaking news. It's behind schedule. There's no doubt about it.
Damn.
It doesn't mean that it's not still heading in the right direction. But my pal to my right, Terry Foster, you're not buying it?
I'm not buying it. For the first time ever, I do not have confidence in Steve Yzerman. I thought he would come in, get this team in the playoffs, compete for championships, win a cup or two. But, there's something missing in this rebuild, and it's called urgency. Steve Yzerman knows he's not going anywhere. He's not going to get fired. There is no hot seat for him. And I think when you're not on edge, you're just chilling out. And that's what he's doing. He's just chilling out. I'm going to do it on my own time. I don't care how long it takes. But don't be talking about 10 years or, what it could be. Because he's had opportunities to add players. He's missed in the draft sometimes, even though he's drafted well. But this was the guy that was supposed to turn it around. How long are you supposed to wait? There's good players in the minors.
No. So let me look ahead to next year.
If Neil was here.
If we're having the same conversation today that we're having a year from now, all bets are off. All bets are off.
Wouldn't you have said that after last season?
No. Me? And please, you guys,
No.
KG,
Sean
I know
didn't
you've
think we were
given
gonna
me
make
credit
the
for
playoffs
this.
Yeah, he was on the forefront of they won't make the playoffs.
Not me.
I was surprised.
Not me. I better is subjective. I think a team can be better and not necessarily be a playoff team yet. I don't think this team is better right now. I think the franchise is in a better position. I do. I think one more year of developing. But, yeah, Spenny.
Just Motor City Patriot with a cool comment in the Woodward Sports Chat. He says,
out.
love you guys. My niece is the goalie for Regina/Lutheran North United.
Props.
She only gave up one goal in the playoffs on the way to the state championship.
Props, yeah.
Very cool.
That's one of the hats that I hold. I was watching that last week. Congratulations. That was a great run. But Terry, no, for me this year, and I'm thank you for getting my back there. I didn't think so. The problem that we have right now, Terry, is, and this is where I'll go to your side a little bit. The people that are planning future Stanley Cup parades, there are too many teams in the Red Wings' own division that are doing the same thing. And I'll be point blank honest with you. I think they're doing it better.
Come on.
I do. I think Montreal's doing it better. I think Ottawa's doing it better. They are. And so that's what I worry about. If you're one of those people, it's about getting back into the playoffs. I think you'll be happy next year. But how much closer are you to, I don't know, dare I say, winning a Stanley Cup? Now, what you could say is both those franchises are Canadian franchises, and Canadian franchises haven't won a Stanley Cup since 1993, and there's too many things working against them. Yeah, and I would get every bit of that. But that's where I'm at right now, Terry. Honest to goodness, I think that you're talking about a scenario where I think they're going to be a lot closer next year. I do. And the key and operative word is I think. And I don't blame somebody for being pissed off at that.
But you know what? Next year, they should be a definite 100% playoff team.
And
considering the length of this rebuild, they should be a team next year that could win a couple playoff series, scare the hell out of whoever's going to go to the Stanley Cup. The Rings are not there yet. And, Steve Yzerman, man, there's no pressure. I was listening to 97, and they were saying, where do you think the hot seat is on Steve Yzerman? And they were giving numbers. I'm sitting there saying 0.
0.
It's a zitus.
It is.
He's got no heat on him.
None. I told you I'm still in. I still look at the long term, and maybe I'm biased because I've done a lot of junior hockey in the past, and I've seen a lot of these guys play, so I know what's coming.
Good Lord.
But with that being said, it is so funny. Like, I'm not joking. We should make this an everyday bit. Like Tourette Spenny. Like this is right. This is awesome. But no,
Spenny out loud.
Terry, I keep saying this. I totally get people's frustration. You're not wrong, okay? I'm not saying you're wrong. I think where we go in separate ways is when you say, "Well, I don't know what the future holds." There's a lot coming, but I said this last week, and I'll say it again. I thought Steve, who doesn't make many kind of PR mistakes, I thought he made a misspeak last week. When you come out and say, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the exact quote, we made the moves that we felt would put us in the best position to make the playoffs. That's a false statement.
Yeah.
When you had Craig Smith and a third goaltender, and oh, by the way, it's Peter Mrazek, those are not showing, to use your word, the U word, that is not showing urgency. Those are not the best moves you can make to put your team in a great position to make the playoffs. And so I cringed when I heard that. And again, consider the source. Please consider the source. This is somebody that I'll say it again. I think within 2 years, a lot of people are going to be apologizing to Steve Yzerman around here. I really do. I do. But that remains to be seen. You might be shitting on me. Wouldn't be the first time.
You got to wait 2 more years.
No, to be where he wants it to be.
Right.
Because he said day one, and this, I swear to God, I've said this more times than you could shake a stick at.
Good.
Listen to what he said April 19th, 2019. This isn't about getting in the playoffs. This is about getting back to that level that we were all accustomed to circa 90s and
I don't know.
aughts.
Maybe I'm confused. Don't you have to make the playoffs
100%.
to get to where you want to be?
100%.
Yeah, but you in a situation kind of similar to the Tigers. You waiting on your young guys. Because we keep hearing about the guys in Grand Rapids,
Right.
and, they're going to be the next wave, and they're going to perform once they get up there. You're just waiting on your young guys.
And I don't believe in a second. I was going back and forth with people on this on Twitter. Don't give me the just get in shit. Don't give me that, okay? Because for every Habs team that made the wild run to the finals in 2021, for every King team, I got 50 on my side. You don't want to go down that road. That's an argument you're going to lose. And oh, by the way, you know what a lot of those teams that made those crazy runs have in common? Elite goaltending. The Red Wings don't have elite goaltending, folks. Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it.
Peter Mrazek isn't the next Dominik Hasek?
All right,
Jace.
Spenny, we're
Knock
up
it down,
against the
Jace.
breaks.
Hey!
So, what are you going to do? Can you
Jace
take a
just-
break from watching the Spartans and talking to me right
stop
now?
with your ticks
Do you
over
want to
there?
talk about the bracket?
Chase just hit a big 3. Put the Spartans up 40-32.
I'm so mad y'all can hit threes now.
I know.
Out
Right?
of nowhere, though.
Let's go to break. We're gonna come back. We can do some Q&A after that, so get your comments in the chat. But first, let me tell you about the bracket challenge. Woodward Sports is at it again, giving more cash and more prizes away than anyone in Detroit. Get in on our March bracket challenge, powered by Jugga Nathan Neurosurgery. If you have the biggest basketball brain and get first place, you win $1,000 cold hard cash. Second place gets a weekend at Grand Traverse Resort in Traverse City, including brunch at Erie and golf. Third place gets 2 club seats to see the Pistons and Bucks with food and drinks courtesy of RHB Laboratories in Troy. You can pre-register now at woodwardsportsbracket.com. Then after Selection Sunday, go fill out your bracket and take a chance at $1,000 in cash money and more. Go to woodwardsportsbracket.com right now and register, all powered by the best in the game. Jugga Nathan Neurosurgery and Woodward Sports. It's the Woodward Sports March Bracket Challenge.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
All right, Big D Energy. Don't forget, Neil Rule will be back on Monday. He and I will be in, and then Mac is back on Tuesday. Neil and Mac reunited.
Board.
It feels so good.
Go. Michigan State up by 10. 5 seconds left. Jace drives, kicks it out. Jaden Akins, wide open 3 at the buzzer, misses it. Michigan State goes into the break, 42-32.
10-point lead.
Yep.
10-point lead. You take that all day. No, we were talking about this at the beginning of the show. In the back of my head, as Spenny has had Tourette's for the last, 40 minutes watching the Spartan game.
You know those things are called ticks.
Yes,
That's what
ticks,
he's at.
right?
Yeah.
It happens. Do you know what's been in the back of my head all day? Like, I'm serious. And if you told young me this, young me probably would have kicked old me's ass. Terry, I can't wait to get out of here today and go grocery shopping.
You know, I think we might kick your ass after the show.
Go right ahead. And you know what? I'll limp my broken ass into the grocery store and I'll be healed.
Terry, if I could smoke meats the way Sean could smoke meats, I would like to go grocery shopping too.
I love it. And it's like, and here's, I always tell myself I'm not going to go into that section of the store, Spenny, because I've kind of become a snob. I'm not going to lie.
Can't help yourself.
I don't buy my meats from the grocery store.
Right.
I go see a butcher.
Cattlemen's.
How could you do that?
Right.
I need.
You know what?
Snake River Farms
from Milan.
Right.
Hey, Mr. Smoke Meat. I smoke it too. I got a private meat guy.
That's what I'm
Bam.
talking about.
That's your market.
Can you get bison?
You can't go in there, but I can.
Yeah.
Terry's got a hat guy in Eastern Market too.
That's what I'm talking
Terry,
about.
me and Easy we're talking about going to the Kentucky Derby this year.
Ooh.
Would you be able to get us hats? Can
Yeah,
we get?
well, sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go to the Derby. I like horse races.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
I've invited
juleps,
Easy
I
to
like
go down
big
there.
juleps.
Oh yeah.
I've invited Easy several times. Go down there. Let's get some hats together.
Yeah.
Oh, my foot hurt, or I gotta go and buy a cheeseburger for my kid. He comes with all kinds of excuses.
He does make a lot of excuses.
See, I gotta when the weather
I'm
gets
down.
nice, I gotta have you guys over for the big one. You came over for a small one.
Oh, yeah.
When we have all three smokers going.
Yeah.
Easy was over my house for that. We had the brisket, we had the pork,
Oh.
we had a bunch of stuff going on. I'm now I'm stuck. Easy and Spenny at Churchill Downs.
Oh yeah. We're trying.
That
to
would
go.
be an experience.
That
He said
would
it's
be
not that expensive either.
it would be unbelievable
Yeah.
footage. You two down there
Oh yeah.
in that with that pretentious group.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude.
I want to get like a powder blue suit and a fucking some sick hat.
I can see it.
I would, dude.
Bro, they would look at us so crazy.
Looking like Django when he's riding on the
Right.
horse. Dude.
Right.
That's the kind of suit. That's the kind of suit I'm trying to wear.
Right, for
With
real.
The fucking like.
You got to go in there
oh,
the
yeah.
right way.
Oh yeah.
No.
Fucking piss myself. That'd be the best.
No. They'll get some drunks down there. Let's see, Spinny and Easy. And it says, hey, I'm a little bit drunk. You two guys jockeys?
Right. Hell yeah.
The hell y'all doing here?
So one of my buddies has gone down there consistently now since 2001. He went one time, and he never misses it. And you know what he told me, Spenny? Here we are talking about some of the pretentious people down there. He goes, dude, that's just what you see. He goes, when you're down there, like
party.
everybody parties. He
Yeah.
goes, including those people. He goes, those people walking around with their hats and the little mint juleps, and they're pounding that shit.
Oh, yeah.
He honest to goodness, he said, I've been to a whole bunch of different places. Now, going down to Bourbon Street, something's different. You can't.
Yeah.
He goes, dude, all the events I've been to, like, there's something different about going down to the Derby.
Yeah.
He's gone every year since 2001.
Why don't you go with them?
I have zero interest in doing it.
It's
I
not
don't
about
like
the
horse
horse
racing.
race, bro. It's about the
I
party.
just don't. I don't have. I have zero interest in doing it. Like, I think because back in the day I had my Philip party. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like it's. I won't go back there. I
That's
don't.
not fair.
Because I know how I am too. You get a couple whiskeys in me, and you
Couches
know.
are burning.
Hey, and plus
I don't
you
need that.
You gonna
Nobody
go down
needs
there
that.
dressed as you are now, and they gonna be looking at you crazy
Right.
as hell. Like you not gonna dress up for the Derby. I know.
Sean's
that.
going to put on a suit and get a big hat.
I'm trying.
he
That's,
ain't doing that.
That's what I'm doing. If we're going to the Derby, I'm getting it.
He gonna show up in the state hat. As he
Yeah.
got on down.
I got that Django image in my head. though.
Spinny
I
can't
do.
go unless he's going to have a hat with like a 9 or 10 inch.
Oh yeah.
Like feather
Feather.
in
Oh,
it.
Coming
for
out of
sure.
it.
Yeah. Like I said, the blue Django suit that he's wearing with the puffy shirt underneath it,
Yeah.
and a
The
big
frills.
ass brimmed
That's the
hat.
best.
Oh yeah.
With a mint julep
Oh,
in your
yeah.
hand.
Yes.
And what they can't see is you got like a fifth of your choice
Oh,
in
for
your
sure.
pocket.
Yeah.
Oh, is that beautiful?
Where the pistol should be, you got a
tequila
fifth.
inside the coat pocket.
Right.
Dude, everybody who's been to that I'm sure you know some people. Everybody who's been to it swears by it. Like they
I'm trying to
swear
go.
by the Derby.
I'm trying to go and get looked at by a whole bunch of rich white people. Like, what the
Facts.
fuck you doing here?
Hey, you know
I'm
what?
like, I got a horse, man. What you mean?
One of those rich white people might adopt you.
Yeah, they might. I'm trying to
Or
find
you
me a
can
sugar
get
mama.
out,
What's up,
or
though?
it's a get out situation. They're trying to.
Right.
I'll tell you what. When I
the blind side. He don't need that
I'm
design.
the blind
I
side.
don't feel like at home in Birmingham.
As you should.
These aren't my people. Like, I do not rock with the people of Birmingham. It's a weird kind of.
Easy might get
over
adopted
here.
by a white family. He might say, "Hey, this is a left tackle for University of Tennessee."
There you go.
See, I'm gonna be really intrigued though if you guys end up going, because that's what my boy tells me.
Yeah.
My boy goes, I don't know what happens. Like all the class just drops. Like all of a sudden, everybody's just there.
See, that's
having
what
a
I'm
good
all
time
about. I'm
hanging
trying
out,
to see
right?
these old white women whip their titties out and then
That's
do
right.
some shots or
Well,
something.
they might like KG.
Yeah.
At that point in
Oh,
time.
yeah. I do well with the white women. I can't lie.
All right, we got to get out of here. Have a great weekend. Thanks to all of you for tapping in. Don't forget, heavyweights coming up. You've got Ermanni and Edwards coming up. T, always a pleasure. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys.
See you.
We clear.